move. All right, so for the Bengals, still working on that Trey Hendrickson situation, that Trey Hendrickson deal. But you need pass rush. That way you're not like peering outside the playoffs and you're relying on week 18, and then you have the Chiefs sitting all their players and the Broncos making it instead of you. You need to make sure that Joe Burrow isn't throwing it 40 times a game. I think Mike Green would help out with this. Now, Mike Green has his own character concerns that are more tangible, more serious. I would say with James Pierce, it's just like maturity issues, unless you know anything more, because you're making it sound like they're worse. You said worse than Micah's.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously they didn't get it to, the allegations or whatever, but basically with James Pierce, it just seems like it might even be just his personality as a whole, even like he might just be a dickhead. So again, they didn't give anything up, but basically what was said and what was alluded to was that he's more of a like roughhouser than Micah and prankster and all this stuff, and we'll see. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, that shit's probably easier to fly in college, but with Mike Green and sexual assault allegations from this, it's the reason why he's at Marshall.
And they said that was cleared though. Apparently that kind of checks out that,
But before Virginia, there was another situation. So it's kind of like where there's smoke, there's fire.
Right. It's like 2 times. Well, now you twice.
Yeah. So
I mean, again, football is weird, man. Football is a weird sport where there's certain things that we don't like. We don't like the guy that doesn't love football or he's too smart, and we can deal with certain things. So, I just again, when they like a player, they say glowing things about him, and when they don't like a player, they say whatever they feel. It's just kind of one of those things.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for that, I could see Mike Green going in the top 10. I do think that might scare some teams off a little bit because it's like two separate situations at 2 different schools. I think one might have been a high school, whatever. Either way, it's allegations. The NFL has its issues with that, prior issues, but with Mike Green,
he still got selected in the first round. So, I say he still got drafted in the first round. So
Yeah. But yeah, you pair him with Trey Hendrickson, and that makes things easier on the secondary if you have the sack leader there with a guy with his talent and natural ability. So Mike Green's the pick.
All right, in Seattle, they're up. They just completely, gutted their entire offense. But I don't really think they care about that. They're just here to rebuild. And I think they go with Josh Simmons because he's one of the best offensive linemen in the draft. He was just injured. I think they get him, let him get healthy, and they have a stalwart left tackle for like the next 10, 15 years. Find a way to get another quarterback in there. Get back to balling.
Yeah, these linemen are going in this draft with the Bucks. I think they're pretty blown about the corners going there. I think they need help in the secondary, but I think this is a good spot for Jod Campbell. With Levante David, you moved on from Devin White. You got him, or was the Jags? It's the Jags who got him originally, wasn't it? Devin White,
who drafted him, or he's out the league now. So I know the Philadelphia picked him up, but he was drafted by the Bucks.
So he was drafted by the Bucks. Yeah. So they drafted him at 5. I think you have a prospect here that could, do it all, Swiss Army knife, and you need help on that defense. So
I think he could be Fred Warner.
You think?
I think he's going to kill it. Yeah, I think he's going to kill it at linebacker. Like, they want him to blitz, do a little bit of blitzing too, but I don't even think he should do that. I think he should just be an inside linebacker, 3-down linebacker. Just kill.
Yeah, when it comes to these spots too, it's also we're at the playoff spot, right? So from Bucks down, your playoff teams. Why did you get bounced out the playoffs? You gotta, think about that a bit. Definitely wasn't the offense. Bucks had I would say like a top 7, top 5 offense. So best player available, I think, is Jihad Campbell. I think he helps out a lot on defense.
Yeah. And I'm on the clock for the Broncos, my second favorite team. And I think here, just building off the success that they had, Sean Payton and Bo Nix being I think that they've already invested in one pass catcher at tight end, and I could see them picking up this guy not only because he's a solid wide receiver, but it just seems like he fits perfectly for the type of coach Sean Payton is, the type of football player Bo Nix is, and I think he's going to add to the maturity that they're trying to build in that locker room. I think this is where Emeka Egbuka goes.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and he's such a people don't realize how talented he is at football because he's played with 4 different talented wide receivers during his stint in college. So I just think that, that 4-year college experience, we know already Bo Nix had 5 years college experience. We know the kind of quarterback coach Sean Payton is. I just think this is the perfect slant boy type route runner, inside guy, can do a little bit on the outside, move him around, just dependable wide receiver that this team's going to be able to benefit from.
Damn, I thought you were going to go Luther Burden here. I felt like Luther Burden was perfect right here.
Yeah, see, and again, now they're saying the same thing because I'm projecting what I think they're going to do. Apparently, Luther Burden's falling. Apparently, he's falling.
Okay, I gotta look into that.
Yeah, because of some issues, but again, I don't know the issue. But
oh man, it's more character concern.
Yeah, because again, it's like because they have a quote unquote consensus board, and then everybody has their own board. But sometimes it's kind of like, yo, why is this person just out the blue falling out of everybody's consensus board? Like, what's going on here? And I think Luther Burden could be selected at 12. Like, he's not like he's no better or worse at wide receiver than the guys off the board, but apparently there's something there. So
definitely a different style of receiver. So I could see him being in. I think this is like where he's going to land, just based off team needs and things like that. But now I feel it. For here, I'm throwing a wrench into it. Still don't have a quarterback. Russell Wilson just went to my Giants. Don't know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. Maybe another darkness retreat. So I think if you're going to be the Steelers, you're going to keep winning enough games to make the playoffs and pick in the early 20s and mid 20s, maybe rattle off a playoff win or something like that. You might as well throw darts at quarterback. No pun intended. Getting Jackson Dart for y'all. 21. Either way, whether or not you get Aaron Rodgers or not, you're getting Jackson Dart here.
So, I think Will Howard is going to end up being a better quarterback than
really?
Yeah. And it makes sense why he would be too. Because I'm like, all right, he been around pros. He's been around, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of like all he needs to do is get the ball to the playmakers. And again,
it's easier said than done, huh?
But when you've been doing it and you win a national championship, we showed that it's been done. And we showed that it's been done against Texas.
It's tough with teams like Ohio State where it's like, everything's so perfect around.
But what I'm trying to understand is I don't understand what people see between Jackson Dart that they don't see in Will Howard. I just, you know what I mean? Like what? Yeah, it's like progressions. Like he was going.
I mean, he's more of an athlete. I think he's better under pressure.
You think so? I mean, all right. Hey, look, we'll see. But it's just Will Howard has a lot of things that all right, I could actually see you working in a team like Pittsburgh specifically too. I just think that he has a lot of I like a lot of that trick that, and he's from that area. You know, he got that kind of grit to him and all that. Like I can see, like they were trying to make it work with Kenny Pickett. It is like, bro, if y'all gonna try to make it work with Kenny Pickett, like, or even like, if they didn't get Shador, like I could see somebody taking a foul on Will Howard in the second round and like maybe being serviceable. And the only reason I'm coming to this is because you know how crazy I was going on Bo Nix. I did not see it. But what I can say is that I see a little, like I see some Bo Nix and Will Howard's game.
Well,
So
the thing with the Broncos and the Bo Nix situation is you do have an offensive mind in Sean Payton. And the problem with the Steelers.
That's what I mean. So it's like if it's like, all right, maybe if the right QB molds him or he goes to a situation where he got a fuck ton of talent around him already.
DK Metcalf, George Pickens.
Right. You know what I mean? And it don't even have to be Pittsburgh, but it's like he could be the sneaky guy in this draft. I think. Like if there is
Will Howard. Okay,
yeah,
so
I think if there is one, you know, I don't know if there is, but I could see it.
We'll see who gets him in the 5th.
Right. So where we at? Chargers. So yeah, I mean, I think Chargers are having a party right now. I think they're going nuts. They probably can't believe this guy's still on the board, and they draft Calvin Bates Jr. all guard. Yeah. I think they're happy as hell. Kick him into right guard, kick him into left guard. They still got their bookends. And then if something happens and one of those guys get injured, try him out there, see if that works, and he'll be the swing tackle. Yeah, I think they're happy as hell. They love him some linemen too. So
shit. I think Chargers fans are pissed with this pick.
But they want something that's exciting. And guess what? They don't got an exciting head coach.
Nah, facts. In terms of what he would do, shit. Luther Burden, you got some character concerns. You out Matthew Golden. You're cool, but we'll find something in the second. Type shit.
Right.
I could definitely see that.
And the thing with Luther Burden is like he's playing in the slot, and they already got Ladd out there.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking Burden for them. I was thinking Golden or Loveland still on the board at tight end. Yeah. You know, Harbaugh. But with the Packers, shit. Here, I'm not expecting Golden to be here, so I'm torn between two players right now. Shit. They just never do it. Maybe Josh Jacobs, his voice pushes them to do it. Christian Watson's been hurt, and you kind of go against the grain and do things you usually don't do. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you have to predict when a pattern ends. I'm going to just go Matthew Golden here. You have a need a receiver. You know, this circle of friendship receiving group that you've been trying to trot out, it's not working. You need your guy. You're picking too high to just hope that the guy that you like falls in the second round. I think this is steal.
Yeah. And I mean, I agree. So Minnesota's on the clock now. I know last year they took the best, quote unquote, one of the best pass rushers in the draft, and Dallas Turner, but you know he didn't really generate that much pop his first year. Definitely probably going to develop into a solid football player, but I don't think it stops them for adding another pass rusher. And I go ahead and they take, I can't say his name, Donovan Omaraku.
Donovan Ezaraku.
Yeah.
Ezaraku.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they go edge, or they could go Walter Nolan. I could see that, but actually not anymore because they paid Daron Payne.
Nah, I mean in the offseason, they definitely addressed that D line heavy for sure, but you can never have too many edge rushers.
Edge rushers, right? Yeah.
So I'm with that pick. I'm with it. With the Texans, this was always going to be a spot for receiver for me until the Laramie Tunsil trade. So to me, they must have their guy. Like, you got to have your guy. You got to have like one or two guys that you're expecting to be here. Yeah. To me, I think the safe pick right here is Josh Connerly Jr. Thinking Gray Zabel. I think Gray Zabel is going to be more of a guard. Need a tackle. Go with the Oregon tackle.
I think it might be that guy from Minnesota. Apparently, he's like 6'6", 330 pounds. Right here.
Okay, Irsay.
Yeah. That's just a lot. Just a lot of body.
It's a lot of body, but you need the footwork.
And that's what I mean. That's what I'm like. I don't know. But, yeah, okay. So now we back at the Rams. Rams have made a few trades. Last year, though, you know, they kind of they went defense, best player available on defense. That was obviously Jared Verse. Worked out for them. You know, they had a solid D line, but I feel like they needed a little bit more ass, especially you know, it showed kind of in the playoff game where Saquon was just running between the A and B gap. So I think here is where Walter Nolan's slide stops. And I also like the pick because I think if we're talking about defensive talent, they want that type of player, and they'll just mold him into whatever they want him to be.
Damn, that's a young elite D line there with Brandon Fisk. You got Jared Verse, and now Walter Nolan. He was falling due to some character concerns, but I think that got cleared up a little bit. I think I saw some reports that his interviews went decent. So, all right, with the Ravens, a lot of options for them. When you're picking at this part of the draft, you're kind of going best player available.
Just chilling.
Yeah, you're cooling. For them, I think they could use some help at edge. I think this is like, if you're picking here, you should probably be attacking the trenches for the most part. And I think they go Shamar Stewart, who lacking in production, but it's kind of due to the team that he was on and how they used him and whatnot. I think you have a raw athletic talent.
See, now the over 4.5 sacks your entire career. Man, like you never was getting to the quarterback ever.
Man,
ever.
You gotta chill on him, bro. It's college.
No
bro.
Tackles for loss. Like tackle for loss is a big number. Like the
I'm just letting you know, Shamar Stewart's going earlier than this. Most likely. He's going earlier than this.
This is theme in this draft, and the theme in this draft is that the players that are uber athletic lack production, and the players that are very productive lack the traits, the elite traits. So yeah, there's a there's a theme here where it's boom or bust.
It's definitely boom or bust, which is where I like him. It's kind of like a Greg Rousseau type pick, you know?
Right. It's even with Greg Rousseau. It was like, damn, all his tackles, like I can see him getting busy, but all of his sacks are coming when he's playing zero tech. And we draft him to be a DN. But it's at the same time, though, still, Greg Rousseau literally had production, though. He had production. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. It's like, all right, bro. Maybe Greg Rousseau wasn't getting to the numbers how we want him to get there, but he still found a way to get there. And I know he can maybe maybe work it out. I don't know if this cat's good at football.
Oh my God.
I don't know if he's good at the sport. You know what I mean? And that's where it gets shaky.
Hey man.
You gotta do something on the field. You don't gotta do everything. You don't gotta be Superman, but you gotta do something, even if it was a gimmick. Hey, let's run a stunt real quick so I get a sack, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, the way Texas A&M played, like if he was in a better situation that suited his talents, bro, the sack numbers wouldn't have been there. But I don't think he should go like much earlier than this. I just see him rising. I think people are chasing, like, I don't know, like
right. I mean, this is a Baltimore pick. They would draft you off your traits and they'll figure it out. But yeah, it's just that one I'm always have my eye on him. But let me get to Detroit here. You know, I think Detroit, they kind of, you know, due to the injuries and everything, it kind of got bad for them. But what I could see is due to the fact that they still got Amon St. Brown, they still got Jameson. I could see them maybe going a little bit younger, getting a little bit younger on the offensive line. and drafting someone like with the versatile like position flex as Gary. What's his name? Gary Zeal.
Gray Zabel.
Zabel, yeah, Gray Zabel, and you know what I mean, just slotting them in, maybe having them play guard for right now, moving to the eventual center spot, something like that, and just keeping that offensive line intact.
You don't think they would go Jalen Walker? Jalen
Jalen Walker.
Walker, Derek Harmon.
I mean, they definitely need some help there on pass rush. But this is like you said, this is a deep pass rushing draft. So I think they go definitely get another D tackle in this draft, and I definitely think that they go ahead and try to see if they get some depth at linebacker. But you can get that stuff in the second and third round. I think especially what we even
And
saw.
the tackles went on a run in the draft we're doing. Like there's a lot of offensive linemen.
And it kind of goes back to what I'm saying when we were in free agency. Who was making the money? Who wasn't even available? No good guards really were available. And the ones that had potential, they made a significant amount of money. So it's like, all right, if I got to deal with a project and develop a guard, I might as well draft his ass, have that little bit of cheap labor for a few years, and then if he becomes something cool, I extend him. At least I know what I'm working with. And we just keep this thing following through.
No, it's not a bad pick. I mean, like I said, you're picking here, dress the trenches, offense or defense. So I'm with it. I think this is a good pick. I like Zabel. But for the commies now, they re-signed John Bates. He's more of a blocking tight end. Zach Ertz is back. He's singing praises for Jaden Daniels and what they think they can do. But I don't think they expected Colston Loveland to be here. And you add in Debo. What's good?
Hey, I would like to pick. I would like to pick.
This is what we're doing for sure. Colston Loveland here. Man, you got to do this. You add him with Terry McLaurin. Hopefully Debo can get back to form. He has the fire lit under him with how things went with the Niners. With the Niners, it seemed like they would have preferred to pay Brandon Ayuk and just cut Debo back then, and now they're doing the retooling now. Now you're there with Terry McLaurin. You're not like the top receiver, even though Brandon Ayuk was more of the down the field guy. But yeah, Loveland, man, because I don't think he's going to be available. But if he is, I think they kind of scrapped their plans, and he's high on their big board.
Okay, yeah, I'm with that. I like that. It's like in that offense, we'll see. I mean, Zach Ertz, that's his name. He was doing his thing. Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz. They're peppering him with targets, and that's a good tight end to learn under. So, shit, yeah. I'd be kind of annoyed if he's here. I could tell you'd be happy with the pick because you don't think it's that much of a plus multiplier, but
yeah, obviously Jaden Daniels did his thing, but there's a lot of weapons out there. Them trying to figure out that Joker wide receiver position. Go ahead and spend your time doing that. And hopefully, if it all works out, he has 4 years with Washington, and by the time he's really nice, he's on another team. So,
best case scenario for NFC Easters.
Right. Here, Buffalo just extended Josh Allen, but I think they go defense here, probably just going ahead and just taking from Philly's playbook, getting the Georgia guy that's available. They need depth at linebacker and at edge. So I think they try him out, try to make him a 2-down linebacker, and then use him off the edge, see how that works out. If he's better at one than the other, I think eventually he's just primarily a backer. Or if he actually is good with his feet down, with his hands down on the ground, I think he'll put on a few more pounds and just be a every down pass rusher.
So he's talking about Jalen Walker, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, Jalen Walker. Yeah. So.
All right, that's smooth. That's smooth. I mean, I think that's a steal of a pick for him, even though I think he's being a little bit overhyped right now with where he's being mocked in the top 10, top 15. So
they like him. There's been rumors that Dallas likes him. And we're like, please, God, no. But there's like, that's a name. Like, that's a name. Along with Hampton, they're like, yo, don't not have it on your bingo card.
I got you.
You know?
Now, if you're the Chiefs, you're sick about this run on offensive linemen this entire first round. But you still got a pretty serviceable guy that I think is worth a first round pick, especially if you're picking here, damn near a second round pick, picking at 31, coming off the Super Bowl. You just traded Joe Tooney to the Bears. I think they go Donovan Jackson here.
See, now it's funny because they did this last year and it didn't work out for them. But I do think that this is what that's all they can do. This is all you can do is just constantly take cracks at the most athletic offensive lineman on the board. And Donovan Jackson, he played guard, he played left guard, and then when Josh Simmons got hurt and was out for the season, he then converted over to left tackle, and he got whooped the first game, but he got whooped the first game because he was going up against Abdul Carter. And by the end of the season, he was a solid tackle. So, people thought he would enter the draft as a guard, but they're like, wait, no, this guy got film at tackle that we can use. So, yeah, I think he's the pick. And then again, Philadelphia, do what they always do. Best player available. Get rid of Milton Williams. He's about to give you probably a third or fourth round compensatory pick. You still got Jalen Carter there. And you probably got some other and Jordan Davis and probably another fat boy I'm not thinking about right now. Let's go ahead and add one with a little bit of pass rush to the party, and let's just do it again. I don't know what
Derek Harmon.
Yeah, Derek Harmon. And they say he's an edge, but really he plays deep tackles. But even worse if he can fucking start rushing off the edge.
No. They don't have him as edge, but I would be. With them, it's annoying. We're going to do a reaction to what our mock was going into this time last year, into the 2024 draft, where it's pick of the litter for him. If you saw where we had Quinyon Mitchell, if you saw where we had Cooper DeJean, and they just played cleanup in these first top 100 picks, and it's a very Eagles pick to replace Milton Williams with someone like Derek Harmon. So
why they still get a compensatory pick for Milton Williams?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it might be a third rounder because of how much he got paid. So
also got to look at who they scooped up and whatnot for the offsets or whatever. But
yeah, because they got to and then with that, it got to be someone who wasn't cut. It has to be someone who was a free agent also. That's something that compensatory picks is something that I had to study as a Cowboy fan. Competency, what's it called?
I think you had it right. Compensatory.
Yeah.
You fucking me up. You fucking me up. But yeah, all this tells me, because I feel like once we flip it again and we do our mock draft 4.0, there's going to be a lot of differences in that. Like, judging by this, the draft I think really starts at y'all at 12. I'm gonna be glued in to this draft.
See, but I'm telling you, I think the party gets started. I think the party gets started if it holds to what we're doing right now. The party, quote unquote, I guess gets started at 3, because if they do draft Abdul Carter, then y'all get Shedeur. That would be, if Shedeur or Travis Hunter were on the board, like that'd be a little crazy. And then, it would be.
Yeah. In terms of that, you got to realize, bro, I'm so taken in this Russell Wilson news. It hasn't fully hit me yet that we have Russell Wilson, and it just tells me that the Browns are going Shedeur. So for now, I'm just assuming the Browns are going Shedeur because they know something we don't know, to be honest.
Right.
So
right, yeah, and again, unless y'all got the best hating ass media reporters leaking all kinds of crazy shit.
We could get a slight CJ Stroud, I guess, but I'm just going to temper my expectations.
Yeah,
and this is, I think, to me, it really starts at 5, because if it goes Cam 1, Shedeur 2, then it's either Travis 3, Abdul 4, vice versa, and then it's all about what the Jags do. And if you know.
Yeah. And I mean, at that point, I really don't rule out Genty. Like I really don't rule out Genty earlier than people think. Now I don't think
What
Genty's
at 4?
yeah, like I would have a hard time Genty going before Travis, but like I think that would be nuts. I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen, but like that would be nuts too if that was how Travis Hunter fell to 4.
Yeah, that would be crazy. With Genty, like if Genty did go at 4, they must be super optimistic about Stephon Diggs, I guess, because
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just one of those things where
you're passing up a pass catcher for a back, and Ramondre is pretty good for you, but Ramondre, he's not on really the same like timeline as a Drake May.
right.
So I'm not sure if that stops them
together. Like actually,
right, exactly.
You know what I mean? And then they know going into next year, all right, we need to get a solid pass catcher and we need to throw everything in the kitchen sink at the offensive line. You know, if nobody that they have it develops into anything.
Right, because they still drafted Jalen Polk in the 2nd. So, hopefully he could step up.
Yeah, the New England's got an interesting dynamic. I'm definitely going to be interested in what they do. 4, 5, and 6 could be a little crazy. 4, 5, 6, and 7, even I'll go that far to say because I can see Tyler Warren going to 7.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a destination for him. I think if he doesn't go at 7, he falls a little bit. Maybe the Colts trade up, or he just falls, or the Colts just let it fall and he goes there. Because if he doesn't go 7, I don't see any of these other teams really going after him. Bears got Cole Kmet. They just re-signed Juwan Johnson. They got the Taysom Hill experience there. I'm pretty high on Jartavius Sanders. I think the Panthers would be foolish if they went tight end. I mean, actually, Panthers, Tyler Warren.
I get it, bro. I want them guys to go where it ain't chaotic, yo. Like, is it be their fault? Everyone try to put it on them.
Hey, the owner fell back a little bit. He was seeing the smoke, and he kind of we haven't heard from him in a minute.
Yeah. So right. Yeah. So we'll see. It'll be interesting, and we'll do some more as we gather more intel and more news comes out for us to believe and not to believe.
Yeah, Lion season, like Austin said, that's it for that. Matter of fact, like and subscribe. Be here for the next one. And like I said, we're going to react to our last year's mock draft. You can see how we were feeling. Got a couple picks right. You'll see which ones.
Yeah, sure.